So you're an associate project manager apprentice, maybe even with Kent Business College, and you keep hearing about K14. It sounds a little intimidating, right? Well, it doesn't have to be. Over the next few minutes, we're gonna break it all down: what stakeholder communication is, how you can actually get good at it, and most importantly, how to get that solid evidence you need for your portfolio. Let's do this. All right, let's meet Jody. She's a level 4 APM apprentice over at IBIS Stores. And honestly, she's feeling a bit stuck. Sound familiar? She knows K14 is absolutely essential to pass her apprenticeship, but turning that definition into actual real-world evidence, that feels like a massive leap. So Jody's quest kicks off when her line manager, Riddle, tells her she needs to get a real handle on K14 for their upcoming marketing project. Jody's just staring at the formal definition on her screen, and it all feels so abstract. She's thinking, okay, but how do I do this? So let's look at that definition. What is K14 really? At its heart, it's about being the communications hub for your project. It's so much more than just sending a few emails. It's about picking the right way to talk to the right people at exactly the right time. Why? To build trust, keep everyone on the same page, and, actually make your project a success. And that right there is the million-dollar question for pretty much every apprentice, isn't it? Luckily for Jody, she's got a mentor, a guy named Adam. And Adam is about to give her a completely new way of looking at this whole challenge, a way that's gonna make everything just click. So Adam decides to just ditch the corporate jargon. He knows it's not helping. Instead, he comes up with this really powerful, really memorable analogy that's gonna turn stakeholder management from a boring checklist into, believe it or not, a creative art form. And boom, right there, that simple shift in thinking changes everything. See, you're not just managing a boring list of names anymore. You're curating an experience. Your job is to read the room, play the right tracks, and keep the energy just right to make sure everyone has an awesome time at your project party. And this is where that analogy just comes to life. Look how it perfectly translates those clunky project management terms into the world of a DJ. Reading the room, that's just stakeholder analysis. Your tracks, those are your communication methods, your emails, meetings, and reports. And taking requests, that's the key to two-way communication and active listening, making sure your crowd feels heard. Okay, so with this new DJ mindset totally locked in, Jody now meets with her coach, Olivia. Olivia's job is to help Jody take this cool, creative idea and turn it into a concrete, totally evidence-ready communication plan that she can use for her portfolio. Olivia just lays it out perfectly. Creating your mix, your plan, is this clear 5-step process. First, you analyze your crowd's needs. Then, you pick your channels or your tracks. You tailor the message for each group. You manage expectations. And, this is crucial, you listen and adapt. Come on, no good DJ just hits play and walks off stage, right? And here's what that reading the room actually looks like. Check out the different needs here. Your manager, Ritzal, high interest, high influence. She needs that weekly face-to-face meeting. But the finance department, they're totally cool with a formal quarterly report. See? You're playing a different song for each person based on what they need to hear. A great DJ knows the difference between a massive peak time anthem and a chill opening track. And you need to know the same thing about your communication. Formal communication, that's for your big moments, your key decisions, your high-influence stakeholders. Informal communication, that's for building that team chemistry and for all those quick everyday updates. Okay, so Jody gets the theory. She can analyze her stakeholders, she can plan her communication mix. But now we get to the most important part for her apprenticeship. How does she prove it? Olivia's about to explain how to build an evidence playlist to upload to her Aptim portfolio. That system you use to track all your progress. This right here is your evidence. It's your greatest hits album. You need that communication plan itself. That's your set list. You need reflection reports, your notes on how the set went down. A conflict resolution log that shows you can handle those tough requests from the crowd. And finally, the work outputs, the actual emails and reports, those are like the live recordings of your performance. So, with her knowledge sharp and her evidence playlist ready to go, Jody's feeling pretty confident. Now it's time to prep with her mentor, Adam, for the final performance, the big headline set at the endpoint assessment interview. Adam throws a classic EPA question at her. And this isn't just about knowing the answer, it's about showing how you think. So how would you answer this one? Now that is a perfect response. It starts with the principle, the analysis, and then it gives a specific practical example. It shows the EPA assessor that you're not just picking methods out of thin air. You have a strategy, and it's based on your stakeholders' needs. All right, now for a tougher one. Let's be real, the crowd isn't always happy, and sometimes you've got to manage conflict. This question is designed to test your ability to handle those really difficult conversations, which is a huge part of K14. And there it is, another perfect response. Did you notice how she used specific language right from the K14 standard? Words like active listening and two-way conversation? That is exactly what the assessor is listening for. It proves you don't just know the theory. You can actually apply it to solve real problems. So what's the main takeaway here? K14 doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. By just reframing it and thinking of yourself as the DJ of your project, you can turn a complex requirement into a skill that feels intuitive and honestly pretty powerful. This is how you walk into that EPA interview with total confidence. Adam leaves Jody with this final piece of advice. You're not just managing a bunch of tasks. You're creating an experience. You're the one bringing all of these different people together to create something successful. So now it's your turn. Go on, drop the needle, and make some project magic happen.